Алло.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Меня зовут Анна.
Меня зовут Илона. Я по-английски говорю лучше даже, чем по-русски, но приятно слышать русскую речь.
Отлично.
Это
Здравствуйте.
мой сын Патрик. Он сейчас
Hi, Patrick.
будет
What?
занят. Он
What's-
не говорит
Who is this? I thought you were calling Geronimo.
No, this is like new
Why?
Geronimo.
But why did you change therapist? Because she doesn't want to be a therapist?
I'll tell you later. I don't want to get you involved. I'll tell you later,
Doesn't
okay?
want to be a therapist?
Can you go practice your multiple choice? Yeah, something like that.
It's not multiple choice.
I mean multiple choice. Your multiplication. You could do it? Please? I'll be there in a half an hour, okay?
Later.
Ребенок,
With you.
ребенок не готов. Понятно.
Ну да. Ну, я ему не все рассказываю. но-
Вам как комфортнее будет говорить? На английском или на русском? Можно переключить.
А, я не знаю. Мне тоже такая ситуация, что я по-английски говорю примерно так же, как по-русски.
Окей. Можем
Ой.
по-английски. So I
Yeah.
just want to clarify about the case because the clinical supervision team contacted me, and that's why about the transfer. Because I also want to ask. I know that you've been with our clinic for many years, and I am as much new to this case as you are. So today is your time just to tell me what's going on and why.
Well, my previous therapist promised me that she would like get you up to date, but I don't know if she had a chance to contact you or not because I kind of feel uncomfortable right now with all the other stressors. The sort of things that we've been discussing are like so radical that I don't want to put the pressure on myself that you're going to think I'm like crazy or something like that, and then I would have a scenario on my hands where like I can't like prep my child for he's got state tests that are coming up and pretty soon, so I don't want him to like miss out on that if I need to get involved somehow with whatever you would recommend because again, so I don't know, did she catch you up to date with this?
So that's the question. I wonder what would you choose? What would be more beneficial for you? Because they involved me as we share the language. I can speak both Russian and English, and if you
I don't think it was like a linguistic barrier though because I speak English too.
They mentioned that. They just said that maybe for certain conversation you will be more comfortable using Russian sometimes, and they wanted to try this out and see how that feels for you. Because, of course, your interest and your, the way you will.
I just thought there was a situation, and I just thought that Dania just no longer wanted to be my therapist, is what it was after.
Well, this is. I don't think that's the case because that's not what I know.
Well, I thought that was the case because really I wasn't like a language issue, for sure. So
They
I
don't
mean,
describe it as an issue. They just said that maybe since I have clients that both speak English and Russian, and sometimes for people it's easier to describe certain things in other language. And I thought that maybe, they also did not tell me everything, the full disclosure, or to wait for us to talk about it, but maybe you don't want your son to listen some personal details.
no, that wasn't the issue. The issue was that I had like called her like a name, and then I apologized, but they decided that I should switch therapists, so that wasn't the issue. So
All right,
Yes.
but how are you feeling about the transfer? And tell me how many years you've been
I didn't think it's like an option for me to see her because I think it was more her choice to transfer me than mine. So
Okay.
and again, I don't know if anybody's like capable of resolving the issues that I'm dealing with, because I could reach out to you and it might not be within like your abilities to help me anyways. So
what are the issues that we're talking about?
Well,
'Cause
that's
I,
another thing. I wanted her to catch you up on it again because I'm not going to feel comfortable just like letting you know right now because I'd rather my son at least like, pass through the state tests and then, once again, I could try to reach out and talk to you about this because she promised me that she would call you and at least like reference
so
that much. But
that's what we will do. If you will see me writing, I do have a notebook over here. That's what I write because I don't want to put it in the note. So I write it in my notebook for my own purposes, my own eyes. So I will reach out to her because I was not talking to her specifically. I spoke to the supervisor. That's how.
okay.
And they just told me like, how would you feel to have another client? She's fluent in English, but if she will be interested in speaking Russian to you, you guys can use that as well because she also speaks Russian, but there is no language barrier. I don't want you to think that they addressed it as a language barrier because it's not. They said that you're fluent in English, so it's good.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know the drill. You know how it goes. You're a new therapist. Can you tell how many therapists you've changed throughout the years in the clinic?
Well, you're the third. The first she left. Supposedly she was getting married or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, you would be the third.
Okay, because I was trying to read through your intake, but since those documents are dated 2016, I think a lot of things changed since 2016, so I would rather ask you.
Okay. Well.
All right, so my name is Anna. I've been working, I love to work with trauma, specifically in women. Trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder. I work with victims of domestic violence, physical and verbal abuse, anything related to that. That's the topic that I am interested the most. I prefer working with adults and I prefer to have longer sessions with adults. So it's not within the 30-minute gap, but rather 45-minute gap. I usually use acceptance and commitment therapy and mindfulness. I mean,
I'm not aware what that is.
Oh, okay. Mindfulness is basically the idea to pay more attention to your feelings in the moment. And why does that matter? Say, when you start to understand the reactions of your body when you're feeling, say, stressed, and you notice that maybe your heart will start beating faster, maybe you start to use some fidgety stuff, maybe you rubbing on the penny, maybe you playing with a pencil, or you just opening and closing your pen all the time, something like this, and to see how to reduce those reactions and increase something that will calm you. So we're switching the attention from negative to positive because negative thinking usually catching you and you will be just spiraling with that. And instead, we're just trying to see what works. And acceptance and commitment, it's more about, it's impossible to talk about life without saying about family trauma and effects that it put to your life, the impact that it has on your life. It's impossible talking about today without basically covering yesterday. But acceptance, self-explanatory. I will just work more on accepting what happened, even if we will have
I think you're lagging. Your video is lagging from yours.
Can you see?
Yeah,
Can I move?
because it looked disconnected from your mouth. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Now it's back
Good?
on.
All
Yeah.
right. So acceptance and commitment is pretty much self-explanatory. I basically will be trying to put your attention to your thoughts in order to, maybe we will have a moment where we will process some difficult emotions from the past if they really impact your functioning today. And it all happens.
See, I feel like there's factors in my life that need to be dealt with, and it's not something that I need to adjust myself for. It's something like legally that should be done, And again, she didn't catch you up, and right of this moment, I don't know like how comfortable I am letting you know, because she actually told me she would catch you up on what we've been discussing since what happened, since моему сыну сделали это обрезание, во-первых, это было давно, очень много что происходит, что просто несправедливо ко мне. I just said that part in Russian because I don't want him to hear. That's all.
Yeah, and I was introduced to some of the details. How comfortable will you be for me to tell you what I know? Are you in a safe environment, or your son is listening us a little?
My son might be listening. So if you could tell me in Russian, like this part, it depends on what you're saying, because some things he does acknowledge, some things are hard for him to understand. So it depends on what you're saying. No, he does not speak Russian. He speaks English only.
Супервизор сказал, что есть подозрение у вас на то, что осуществляется некоторого рода слежка.
Ворота чего?
Слежка.
Это что значит? Я не понимаю это русское слово.
That someone is like watching you or helping you.
It's not someone. It's I've went to the police in regards to these matters, and I even showed the supervisor there was like crap on my door that somebody did. That's my neighbors, and I am on a list like with the FBI, but they don't acknowledge it. And I did do this. I did again, like I didn't want to go there because like your first idea might be to have me institutionalized for further testing, even though me and Dania have been discussing this for years and years and years, in the hopes that this could be like again resolved like civilly through some legal action, because I do talk to police about this on occasion, and I have logged complaints in, you know.
I wouldn't proceed with institutionalizing or anything until you express concerns and until your behavior will be drastically decreasing, which I don't know because it's me first time seeing you. I don't know what's your basis.
Because we've been discussing this for like, you know, again, years, and you know, again, like you're the therapist, so this is like another thing that I feel like I deserve better than to be in therapy, because I feel like, you know, somebody should address this, like the police should probably address this as well, because I feel like it's maybe not even my coping skills, it's any normal functional person sometimes has negative reactions to negative things, because, you know, sometimes for me to be complacent about what's going on, that would be dysfunctional, you know. And I do have my son with me, and, you know, I'm looking out for his best interest as well. So
of course, as a mother, yes, he is your priority. I understand that. And by saying you deserve better than therapy, what would be better than therapy? And what is the
if the police like investigated these issues and really went forth and said this is enough, you know, we do believe her, we have enough evidence against these people, you know, because it seems to me, you know, with whoever I reach out to, I can't like prove their involvement, or, you know, if they're involved at all, but somebody with investigative capabilities would be able to, you know. So
well, this is not the goal of therapy, because therapy is to support you. It's like, it's a tool to sometimes just to vent, sometimes just to talk to someone and describe your problems or to share your achievements. And again, I don't know what kind of support system you have at the moment, who includes your family or your friends.
Well, I have enough, you know, like relatively like minor symptoms of this situation that's being caused by my harassment that do agitate me. So that's basically what we've been sitting here like for years on end, like nitpicking about, because, you know, like things like, oh, my door got ketchuped by neighbors, you know, or, you know, like my toilet was clogged, you know, that does aggravate me. So if you know, you'd rather choose to talk about that, I have plenty of things that cause me emotional distress, you know, because again, I don't, oh, my son is like right here with me. Again, like
this is an introductory session. I can guarantee you that I will follow up, and if you insist on me talking to your former therapist, I can reach out so we discuss, and I can, you know, have things to talk about what future.
Yeah, and again, like I don't know if that's going to be to my benefit or not if you guys do share, because you could end up making a clown out of her and saying that she should have had me institutionalized or whatnot. Or you could, choose to believe me that like I'm an adult trying to deal with the situation, and it is very stressful, and it is very real. So,
I prefer to put.
because I mean, what I know what happened is I did go off the handle, and I did call her a name, and I apologized to her, and I said yes, that was uncivilized of me, and that's why I'm seeing a new therapist right now. That didn't happen with the previous therapist, Emily Shiavada. She just left because she just left the clinic. She
Okay.
yeah. So it's not like I'm not generally an aggressive person, but that might have been one of those situations where my stress factors, caused me an outburst,
Got it.
and you know,
Thank you for your honesty as well, because it looks to me, from what I've seen, you're compliant. You've been in the clinic for some years, and you stayed with your first therapist also. How many years you've been with her?
I really don't remember. She was only like a couple of months, I think, but she had just left, somewhere. So I don't even know what happened. We didn't really have an issue with therapy. She just left.
But
Yeah.
the first intake says 2016. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. I think it might have been like 2016. I don't really remember.
How was your experience overall since then?
With what? In regards-
With the clinic, with therapy, what would you think were, I don't know, something that improved your life, some skills that you learned, some ideas that you felt useful?
Well, it's just been. That's all I could say is because sometimes I feel like this is like a almost like a business relationship. I would need, like, for like actual emotional support, I would need like the faith of a friend or like a family member or something like that, but it does not mean that I can't appreciate it, because I know that, like, if I was to try to support myself and like be functional normally, I would have a panic attack. I definitely would. And then there would be like, that would not be positive,
Okay.
because I can sit here and talk to you, and I only had, like, through all the years, like, I mean, some of the things that I've said may have been radical, and again, I don't know what she was writing down in her notes.
Let's not make it about he said, she said situation. It's our fresh start. You meeting me, I'm meeting you. Sometimes it's useful because it's your chance also to have the summary, to create the summary in your head and be like, okay, I'm meeting a new person. What am I gonna tell her? Because you're not the same person that was 2 or 3 or 5 years ago. You are who you are today, and you can let me.
Well, I can tell you what's happened is, like, it's not through any fault of any individual, but I have become somewhat jaded as to our social system, the government and mental health alike, but that's about it. That I guess is a personal emotion. So, again, I could sit here and think, what, I'm just doing this because, like, I have no way to be normal right now, but there you go. That's how I feel, but again, back to, I could sit here and, like, talk about it, and sometimes the fact that I'm allowed to say things that, what in the past would have been treated more radically, like, it makes me more at ease. So, and I really, sometimes I am apologetic, again, to Dania for that outburst, because, again, like, I overstepped my civil boundary. But I get frustrated with dealing with the same issue, and you don't live my life so it's hard for me to express emotionally how I feel sometimes, you know, because like apparently I'm not at the capacity to prove that any of these things are real, you know. So and yet like I know I'm not crazy, you know. So, and also there's issues like, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna cut you off because again, like I feel like I'm on the defensive on this, but somebody does throw garbage at my door, you know, and I have that on film, you know, and you know, and fact of the matter is when I talk to like police, they don't like generally call like the ambulance on me because like, oh my god, this person said that they're FBI agents or
You
something.
have all the rights to be at the defensive here, because from what I heard, from what you mentioned right now, it's already a lot. And again, I don't know your support. You have a son. Being a mother is a full-time job by itself.
Why did you have to
I don't know if you are enrolled in
introduce me to
school.
her? I'm
If you have other
nervous.
kids,
She's
if you have
new.
pets.
You just came over here. She just noticed you because you came over here.
Well, why did you
And she would know.
introduce me? She's new. I was nervous. I was just
You were
wanting to look
nervous?
who was
Patrick,
the
I'm so
person.
sorry. I just mentioned you because I saw you a few minutes ago when we started, and I'm saying that your mom is already doing a great job by being a mom. That's what I
Why
said.
did they introduce
Yeah, so like at this point I feel like again like I maybe I have something to prove because I feel like I've sometimes been singled out because they know, like somebody knows that I have a hard lifestyle, and people with like a hard life, they're much easier to crack, you know, and that's their like ticket out, you know, with all this corruption. And again, I'm focused on maybe, just maybe he'll pass this test, and then, and like, because, you know, I feel like, you know, that could be like a milestone that says that I'm like really okay, you know, because he at least passed the test, even with all the issues, which, you know what, even like the police couldn't be in complete denial that somebody's harassing me in the least, you know. So yeah, like I'm stressed out, like, you know, I don't know what else to like say. And do you know, like I don't know, is there anything else that you want to talk about? Because I don't know.
I would want to know you because there's any new client who's starting fresh, and I would just like to.
Well, I don't feel very fresh. Like I don't get enough sleep sometimes too.
Oh,
So
okay.
okay, so
Do you think Mondays at this time, is this good for you? 12, or I can.
yeah, it's actually the same time that I used to have therapy
perfect.
sessions.
Okay.
So,
That's a good one. So,
but I'm mostly available, like, anyways. So,
what do you usually do? Do you have a job? Are you in school? What's your usual schedule of living? Are you a morning person or more evening person?
I I try to be a morning person, but you know, I wake up, I make breakfast, and then homeschool. And you know, again, like is it possible for you to like maybe have her catch you up on any of this, or
I will.
'Cause,
Yes, I will definitely reach out to her. I will.
because some of these questions in and of themselves would stress me out, honestly. Because I don't even, I'm not sure what kind of response.
It sounds to me.
I have
that you are-
hobbies, and I don't think I'm capable of holding down a job right now. And I do homeschool my son, and again, I'm hoping that will pay off and he will show some ability. But again, like right now, he's just sitting playing because I'm on the phone with you.
All right.
Because what?
And
Do you guys planning to go out today? Because it's a pretty nice out, and I hate to waste a
Maybe.
good day to you.
Dude, I'm nervous. Why do you have to keep mentioning me?
I don't know. Okay, I won't talk about it. Maybe.
So what I can promise you today, this is definitely an interesting first session because we covered a lot, and thank you for for sharing your frustration and how you feel about judging therapists and being in this situation. I will follow up.
What's that about judging therapists?
Changing. No.
Oh, changing. Oh.
Yeah. I understand that it's frustrating because when you.
Yeah, but like, what's more frustrating is now that I'm like in this vague area of, was it my choice? Because I thought it wasn't up to me. And once somebody tells me this isn't up to me, I kind of have to respect that. But are you telling me that it was up to me or something? And
so what? Let's clarify. You want me to ask if it's your choice or not?
Yes.
Therapist.
Yeah, but it's not because I have a problem with you. It's because we've been at it for a long time, and again, I acted uncivilized. I know that, and I did apologize, and so.
Great. I am putting this down right now, and I will address it with the supervisor and let your therapist know also, because as you can see, I don't have enough information. I was just offered a client who got background from the country of my origins as well, and they were like, maybe it can be more beneficial in terms of her treatment plan, and I'm like, I'm up to that because you've been to my field of interest, because I like working with women and helping them to figure stuff out. That's it. That's basically it. I don't know any deep details, so if you can give me until our next session to figure that out, or if anything changes.
Okay, and if we're in this, then again, like, I feel like, like generally therapists feel like, they, put pressure on the person psychologically in a manner where, it's acceptable. This person will automatically start functioning in the ways that they would like. But I want to let you know, just like I would let her know, that there's like outside factors that just no normal people should have to deal with, in my life. And, you might say that's how I feel, but that might actually be, real as per, this is like socially unacceptable.
I got you. Okay, I put this down and I will revisit that with my supervisor and go with that. So thank you for sharing it. I know, let's take a deep breath out because it really was not an easy one. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically how I feel, but
You are doing great. For our first meeting, you were good. You were talking to me because it's always a choice, and our service is voluntary. Nobody's forcing anyone to do anything. So I think you've been doing great, and thank you for keeping open communication. That's actually a great example of open communication right now.
Oh.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
thank you, and I will follow up with you. If nothing extraordinary, if no answers like that you reassign back to your former therapist will be from the clinic to you, means I will see you next week and we will follow up with that. Because as you've been to
Okay.
it's a big organization, and all of those bureaucracy moments with signing up a request and submitting a request, sometimes it takes longer, and maybe I will see you faster. The 7-day gap will definitely be faster than any other request, okay?
Okay, so if I don't hear from NYPCC, then I'll just get the link again, right? And
Yeah.
okay.
Correct.
Okay. So you have a nice week.
You too. Thank you. Thank you, Lona, and it's nice to meet you, and I hope to hear good results from the test, and keep me posted. I barely know anything about the schooling test for children in the US, so feel free to explain how that works. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's the first time we're taking it, so I have my fingers crossed, and that might not be enough, but as long as he at least passes, it'll be good. So he doesn't want me to talk about him, so I'm not going to talk about him. Если что, я по-русски про него что-то скажу.
Okay. Gotcha. So, спасибо вам большое. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Вы тоже. До свидания.
До свидания.
Turn the thing up.